Hi, Dawn here, and I am going to talk about how to get started on Transaction Desk and doing some templates and also talking about Authentisign. So if you are a brand new agent and have not ever logged into Transaction Desk, then you must go to AAR online and set up single sign-on. And this is the single sign-on dashboard. I can't see it because I've already logged in, but you will have to do that. And it will ask for your NERDS number. And how you find your NERDS number is if you go into MLS and go under My Profile. You can go to NAR, but also this is one of the fastest ways to find it. It's right here under My Profile in MLS. So again, if you have not done that before, you have to do that first. That is the first step. So then, once you do that, you will be able to log into Transaction Desk. I'm going to go to Transaction Desk here first because I want to talk about templates. It won't ask you to log in like that every time. If I've logged into other computers or whatnot, then it will ask me to do so. Okay, so now, and they've changed things, so that's why I'm hesitating. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to show you guys. But here, there is a button for templates. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to go to Transaction Templates. If I were you, I would set up a buyer template and a seller template. So whenever you have to write a contract or do a listing, those will be there. Now, if you're struggling with, oh, what documents do I put in? Well, you can go to Real Smart Agent, go under Downloads. Then what I would do is type in Required, and this is where you will see the list of required documents. It shows you for listings, and it also shows you for regular residential resale. So here's your list right here. Not every document is going to apply to every transaction, so you may decide just to do the most common, or you may decide to, maybe you'll make another buyer template with all forms, or a buyer template that has a septic. That's for you to decide, but know that this required documents list is in RSA. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Transaction Desk. And I'm just going to show you, let's just go ahead and do a new transaction, or a new template, so you can see. So I'm going to type here buyer template 2, and this is a residential purchase. Save. So now here it is, and you can add checklists. There's some other things that you can do here, but I'm going to show you how to add the forms. So the most common, of course, is the purchase contract, right? And purchase. So residential purchase contract, here it is. Add. And there you go. Now, if I know that there are things that I want to do, or terms that I want to do each time, you can go into these templates and do so. So let's say, for instance, earnest money to be posited with title, additional down payment, conventional loan to be financed. I'm just showing you this is what I do. You might have other terms that you use on every contract, but this is what you would do, so you don't have to type them in every time. So if there's anything else, like the title company, or this is one that everybody should be doing, none on line 211. So those are things that if you do on your document, it will save it. So now I'm going to hit Save and Exit. It takes me back to my template. So that is how you set up a template. Now, if we're going to write an offer, how do you get started there? So now we're going to go into FlexMLS. I'm just going to pick one of the searches I have going out, and I'm going to pick a home in this search. And let's say we're going to write an offer on this house. So I'm going to click on the MLS number, and I am here going to choose Transaction Desk. This brings me right into Transaction Desk. Now, template. For this example, I'm just going to use Buyer Template 2, import data from Armless, and here's the MLS number, and I want to use the wizard. Now, just remember, this is a national program or software, however you want to say it, so not all fields are going to apply, because some things you're going to look at and go, that doesn't make sense, but that's why, because it's used in other markets. So here is where you're going to type the purchase price, and let's just say $439. The deposit is the earnest money, let's say $5,000. Additional deposit would be amount of money down. In this case, they're going to pay cash, so we can subtract it from the $5,000 if you'd like, however you want to do it. There's different schools of thought, more than one way to do a lot of things. And I'm just showing you the way that I use Transaction Desk, and of course you can do it multiple different ways, but this is the way that I do it. Okay, so now we're going to hit next. You do not want to hit save and exit. It will kick you out of the wizard, and it's always nicer to stay within the wizard. So now we're going to hit next. List date, see expiration date, we don't have to worry about these, but the offer date is going to be as of today. The offer expiration is the date that the offer would expire, so let's just say the 23rd. And the closing date, we're going to put out a month, well, let's just say the 21st. And we don't have to care about any of these other dates. Go next. Now, this is one of the most important things, and I can tell whether or not someone knows how to use Transaction Desk by this part right here. It's the contacts. So now, see where it says Seller, KWIF Client. Transaction Desk takes whatever is on MLS, and as you can see, if we look at Owner, it says KWIF Client. So we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to go into Monsoon and look at who the seller is. It is Terry R. and Penny S. Smith. So I'm going to copy their names, and I'm going to go back into Transaction Desk, and we're going to edit the seller. And the first name I'm going to paste here. I know that we're not going to keep it that way. R. And the legal name, we really don't care about that because they're not signing anything. But this legal name, this is very helpful to know, and I'm not going to get into it now, is if you have an LLC, this stuff you're going to want to pay close attention to. Now, address, I'm going to click, same as property address. If you click that box or check that box on the last page of the contract, it will fill in their address information. Okay, so I'm going to save. Now I'm going to add, we're going to create a new transaction contact. We're going to add the other seller. This is nice that they have an easy name. And then here again, we're going to click the address and save. Now this is where also I would add a buyer. I'm going to just add an existing contact. If you had never entered your buyer in your contacts before, you would have to do so. So I'm just going to add existing just to save some time. And let's use, Actually, I'm just going to use my mother-in-law's name, add. And then address, here's the address. And again, if you want to make sure you put the email in here, because this has to do with Authentisign and helping fill out the documents to have them electronically sign them. So we're just going to have Karen as the only, oh, and I messed up. I have her as seller. I need to make sure she is a buyer. So save. Okay, we're going to hit next. Now, here is the purchase contract, so you can go ahead and fill it out here now, or I'm just going to hit next, and I'm done. So now what I want to do, I'm going to go here and fill out the contract. And again, because of the interest of time, I'm not going to go through everything, but as you can see, it pre-populated already the things that I wanted it to from the wizard. So then there you go. And of course, we're not doing additional amount money down, so I need to put additional cash at close of escrow. So like I said, in the interest of time, I'm not going to do that. So let's just say the contract's all correct. But first, I forgot, I want to show you on the very last page so you can see what this looks like. Because I put in her address information, it shows here, and it shows the seller's information. I also know there's different schools of thought. Well, what if that's the seller's address is wrong? I will say from my opinion, my standpoint, I want a completed contract. Yes, I risk having the seller's address wrong, but I like it far better when my lines are filled out. Okay, so from here, I can either do save or exit, or I can go ahead and send to Authentisign. And I'll show you a few different ways how you can get to Authentisign. So by doing this, here's my contract. Now I need to add participants. So I'm going to add from transaction. I'm going to add Karen. I'm going to select. Now, here's another great step because it already did put her signature here too, but you can also map signer. So if there is another buyer, then you can say who's buyer 1, who's buyer 2, and then assign signature blocks. Now the other key here is when you scroll down to the lead-based paint, you have to delete one of these. Transaction Desk doesn't know how old the house is. So you just have to make sure you delete one of those before you send it. And you should always scroll through here anyway before sending it just to check everything out. It pre-populates it. So now all I have to do is hit next and it will go ahead and send it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit back. I am going to do don't save, so because I don't want it to save it. But let's say you realized, oh no, I made a mistake on the contract, I need to go back. Well, you can hit back and you can say save. So if I go into my signings, you will see that it's right here. Now, I will show you a few different ways to get to your signings. You can go back to your dashboard and you can see under here your signings, or you can hit this pin here and see signings. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you something. So let's say again, oh, did I? Oh, you know what? I messed. Oh, here, I'm sorry, I didn't mess up. So here's the transaction I just did, the address. So let's say this contract, she changed her mind and she wants to offer $440. Okay, save and exit. Now I'm going to go into the signing. I could do it here, I could do it over here, but I'm going to click this. And I'm going to go into it. Just I clicked right on it. And I go to, hopefully you can see this. This is off my screen. I'm going to go Documents, and if I go here, I can remove file, and it did say replace, but I can add a document or form. Now look here. Here is the one, I got to look at my time. This is the one that I just did, so I can add it. And how I know, see, here's the new price. And then it went ahead and already pre-populated. Okay, so now I am going to say don't save. I just want to make sure it's out of there. So that's how you do it in that case. Hopefully that helps on the Authentisign. The other thing is, if we do go into signings here, this is the only signing for this one. Oh, this is only one to fit so much of my screen. So now I'm going to go back to dashboard. I just want to show you a couple of things. And you really should do this yourself so you see what your clients see. If I go into some of my other signings, let me show you one that's completed. This is one that I had to sign to, and you can see that it was authenticated and approved. I can view the signed PDF here, or I will also get an email. I can download it here and then attach it to an email. So hopefully this helps to get started, and good luck. Thanks for listening.